Hi, how is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. Today I'm going to do my video on addiction. I have my notes down here, which I may look down at every now and again. I try to follow them, but sometimes I'm trying to do this so fast because, as I explained in my last video, I have a lot going on. And with this one, I really don't, even if I had to, want to try to rush through it. So it may take me a minute here and there to look down and look and make sure I didn't forget everything. Whether you're living with addiction or you're an addict, there are two sides to it, and we need to understand both sides. Here you will find support. I will not judge you. I don't think anybody should judge you, whether you're the addict or the person dealing with an addict, because there are two very painful sides to this. I know firsthand what it's like to deal with an addict. I've had several loved ones, people that I cared very much about, suffer with addiction. And I have stood by them, and I have fought a good fight. I have went to many meetings on how to deal with addicts and, how to try to handle them the best you can. And there's no clear answer because it's really a fight and a struggle within themselves. And sometimes no matter how much they want to get clean or they want to better themselves, they just can't. And though we don't want to accept that, it's just the outcome that is going to be. Some people are strong enough to fight it and others aren't. And then some are strong enough, but they seem to get dragged right back into it by using past behaviors of hanging out with the wrong people, going back to hanging out with the wrong people, triggers. There's a lot. And codependency plays a lot in that for the non-addict, the helper that thinks they're helping the addict. You have a lot of heartbreak from both sides. You have the addict who wants to do better, who believes he can do better, or she, and tries, but just can't escape it. And the only thing I kept getting told by one of the people I supported was, it's like a monster on your back, and you just keep carrying this monster around. And you keep trying to fight it and fight it. And the more you try to fight it, the more it nags and gnaws at you. And if you're not strong enough to fight it, eventually you give in. You can't blame the addict for that. And I know a lot of people want to blame the addict for that. They want to say it's your fault. You can't get clean. You can't do this. You can't do that. But if somebody is trying and they're failing, obviously they're trying for a reason. And then you have the other addicts that just don't care. They just want to be addicts and they just want to live their life and be free to do what they want to do. And they don't care who they hurt or what happens. They're very selfish. And you've got to know which one you're dealing with. All addicts are selfish in some way. But there's just the ones that are selfish in the way that there's no point of return. That's the life they choose to lead. Now, if you're dealing with an addict that wants help, the worst thing you can do is enable him. Because the more you hand an addict, the more you do for an addict, the more they'll never hit rock bottom, the more they'll never learn any lessons, and the more that they will continue to use and abuse somebody to to keep getting what they need or want. So you love them, they need $20, they say it's for food, and it's not. But you feel bad because you're not sure and you want to feed them. Well, then feed them. Don't give them any money, because I promise you that $20 is not going for food. If you notice, which I've done many a times, somebody comes up in a parking lot somewhere and they say, can I get a couple bucks? I want to go over here to Burger King and get a hamburger. I'm starving. And I'll go, well, I don't have any cash on me, but I have no problem going over there and buying you whatever you want on my card. Never mind. That's two scenarios. The person in that parking lot is just looking for a high. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care about the way they're living. They have no wants to get better. They just want their fix. And then, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. On the other hand, you have the person who is hungry, and you can go buy the food for them, and then they'll turn around and ask you for money for something else. And that's usually somebody you know. It's just trying to break down two scenarios of what addicts will do for you. And you got the one who's on the street who doesn't care to live that way, and he's just trying to trick somebody into giving him some drug money. And then you got your addict who will come home and, they want you to bathe them, feed them, give them a place to lay their head. And you're enabling them by doing that. And it's so hard to give them tough love. You really want to help them because you figure, maybe if I can do this, maybe if I can do that, maybe if I could show him enough love, and I say him because it's easier for me, or her, enough love, she'll stop. Maybe if I give her this or I give him that, maybe he'll stop. But they don't. They will keep using you and using what you can give them. And if you don't give it to them and they're in your house, most likely they will steal it from you. So tough love is the best thing for them. And the only way you can really truly believe somebody wants help is when they're ready to go to a program. If they're just telling you, I'll stay with you and I'll get clean and just give me a chance and I promise I'll do better, it's not going to happen. I promise you it's not going to happen. You're just opening your house and your door and your belongings to an addict who will most likely take them to feed his addiction. Now, this is with family, friends, any loved ones. It goes for everybody. On the other side of it, again, there's addicts that will hurt, really hurt, out of disappointment for letting the people they love down. And that makes them want to use more. And that's usually the addict who will eventually clean up and may relapse again, if they don't continue to follow the rules of support and not go back to bad habits. Unfortunately, both you, the helper, and the addict do hurt. And there's no way around that. You're going to hurt. You really need to join a group, a support group, and a codependent group, and learn what that is about, dealing with an addict. That's where I learned most of what I needed to learn to deal with the people that I deal with. Okay, I kind of went over this. What the people around the addicts need to know, which is you can't trust them and you have to keep loving them, but sometimes you have to understand that there is no answer depending on who the addict is and what they really want out of life. And you can't believe them. They're good manipulators. They've learned how to manipulate. They've learned how to lie. And even when they really don't want to and they don't want to hurt you, they will for that drug, for that monster on their back. What it does to families, it rips them apart. If you're an addict, please don't make babies. Those children suffer more than a lot of people in this world. You make them feel like they don't matter and that they never mattered to you. And they live with that for a very long time. They tend to believe that there's something wrong with them instead of wanting to believe there's something wrong with daddy or mommy. And until they're older, they really don't understand. You really need to think about these things when you decide to bring life into this world. You know what you're doing to your partner if you're with a sober partner. You know the torment you put them through. So a child is no different. It's just more harm because they don't understand. It's hard enough for an adult to understand your partner, your mother, your father. It's even so much harder for a child to understand and wonder why you didn't love them enough to clean up. Now, I've kind of went sideways from my notes, but sometimes your heart just takes you where you have to go, and hopefully you get the message across. And I'm going to do several videos on this, and most of it is just to get information out there. And if you see what I'm saying and you need support, or you know somebody who needs support, please have them join the group. I want to help people. That's why I do these videos. It's not for anything else. I want to make a change in somebody's life, because where one time I needed the help understanding all of this, I had to figure it out for myself, and I had to learn how to deal with it myself. And it's hard. It's really hard. You need to have support somewhere, somehow. And if you don't, I'm hoping I'm an outlet for you to find support. My email is always in the description now. So you can look on some of my videos, the latest videos, and they have it. And I'm going to add it to this one. Even if you want to email me or join my Facebook and send me a message, I will be more than happy to talk with you private. Again, I am just reaching out to people that may need it. Now, and I've already went over kind of what addicts need to realize they're doing to their family, because that was through my talk, and they really need to understand what they do to their loved ones. It's not fair. If you can get help and you're strong enough to get help, you should be seeking help. Okay. All right. Here's the other problem in today's world, especially here where I live in Florida. They have closed down all of the facilities that were on sliding scales for people. Normal people. From middle class to lower income homes, there used to be state facilities where you could go and get help. alcoholics, drugs, a mental. You could take your partner, your family member, your friend, and you pay it on a sliding scale due to your income to put them in somewhere to detox, to get help. And it was, helping a lot of people. And then you had, of course, your repeat offenders. Not everybody should pay for that. Now they've closed all those facilities, and you can only find help for $10,000 a month. So I guess only the rich deserve help. This is, again, something we need to support each other and get together and fight for, because it's not okay. So if I don't have $10,000 a month, I can't get help for my loved one. And that loved one may be the one who won't relapse. How is that fair? This is where, in this world today, we need equal rights and equal opportunities. There is no reason our state facilities should be shut down and turned into $10,000 a month rehabs. What do we do for the people who can't afford that? And trust me, I've called around, I've checked into it, and I couldn't find nothing. So God bless you guys if you do. And here's the other problem. Most addiction now started with Big Pharma and the government. They started making these pills for people who need them. And then they made it easy for drug addicts to get a hold of them. And then not only did they take them from the addicts, they took them from the people who really needed them. And I had a loved one that was one of those people. He was a young guy with the back of a 90-year-old man from the damage to his back. He couldn't take the pain. He went to a doctor. The doctor knew that these pills were addictive, but told him they weren't, told me they weren't. And we could stop at any time. We as the patients. And he took the pills, and the physical addiction set in, and they came and they shut all the doctors down. And the ones that remained open were scared to prescribe anymore. So he turned to the streets. And when he couldn't get the pills, he would get something else to stop the pain. He didn't ask for this. This is what was thrown his way. And it destroyed his family and his life. And how is that fair? Now, any rehab out there now, today, is $10,000 a month for what the government and Big Pharma started. We all deserve a right to medical care. We all deserve a right to be able to go get mental health, physical health, addiction, anything we need, visual, dental, taken care of. Yet, our government refuses to give it to us. We didn't make these problems, but we are now part of them. I don't see how this is fair. I don't see how people should have to live this life that they were thrown into because of bad choices by doctors and governments. So, I'm getting to that point in my video where I'm running out of time, and I'm losing my light. But I really wanted to at least start this discussion, and hopefully you guys will join in. And when I put the video up, it will have some support numbers to drugs and alcohol abuse centers, call lines. I hope if you call them that they will lead you somewhere you can get help, because I just looked for any and all numbers that I could find online to attach to my video to make sure you have somebody to call for help if you need it. And then again, if you just need to talk or some support, you can email me or call me on Messenger. Just send me a friend request. Again, please think about this from both sides. Don't just think somebody's bad because they have an addiction problem, because there's always more behind it. And there's always a reason behind why somebody becomes an addict. And there's always people who love that addict. And if you love them and you want to help them, sometimes tough love is the only way. And sometimes you need to go find some kind of counseling or support group that will help you understand how to deal with them without giving up yourself, your life, or your belongings, or your things. But that none of that will ever stop you from loving them, because I've had much stolen from me. Things are replaceable, but people aren't. So please remember that. And I'm going to stop the video here because I don't want to run out of time and lose the recording. So please take care of each other, and please try to support whoever's around you that needs it. Try to be nice to somebody and do something nice today. I had a troll try to troll me earlier today and say some pretty nasty things and try to bring me to the other side. And I will stand up for myself, but I don't ever want to take it to another level, because it's just not worth it. You attack people and you have no idea what's really going on in their life, and it's not fair for you to get on a internet screen and attack people, again, that you know nothing about, or judge them, or say cruel things about them, or in this case, try to destroy somebody's reputation that you don't even know. So, be nice. Try to be nice. And again, if you need any support in this situation, please contact me, or please contact one of the numbers, or, a place that you know near you. I am going to go now, and you guys have a great day and a great night, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys. Have a great night.